Hello, recently I made a video talking about how a resequenced Help album by the Beatles could have been really a brilliant album that could have been held in the same esteem as Rubber Soul, Revolver or Sgt. Pepper. You know what got released as Help, there's like a big treasure, a masterpiece hidden somewhere. And after I'd done that video, I thought to myself, are there other examples in the Beatles history where different kind of track listing would have benefited the quality of the output? And the answer is not really. I think their career was pretty much perfect and flawless in terms of decisions like that. But since this is a Beatle nerd channel, I thought, why not indulge in a video where I'm kind of resequencing another album, and this time we'll go 1 year further back to 1964, and just let's imagine, just for the sake of it, imagine that they didn't have that 2 albums a year quota back then, but a 1 album per year quota, and in this thought experiment you have to you have to neglect many things, and you have to pretend that there's not a Hard Day's Night movie and they had to make a soundtrack for that movie. So it's just a thought experiment, but reason for this thought experiment maybe is also that some criticisms against the Beatles for Sale album always used to be the album sounds tired, it's in the middle of Beatlemania and they came back from touring and it sounds like they have no energy left. So if you stretch it out into like they had 1 year to work on their 1964 material, what an album would that be? And it would be a great album in my thought experiment. So let's go through the new track list with me. And I would say in this thought experiment, the singles, they would have made exactly the same single A-sides, like Can't Buy Me Love in Spring 64, A Hard Day's Night in Summer 64, and I Feel Fine in Autumn Winter 64. So that you wouldn't have to change that, but maybe you would have to change the B-sides, but more on that later. Now the track list for the A Hard Day's Sale album, released in, let's say, autumn 1964, the first album since with the Beatles. It would start off with track 1, A Hard Day's Night, track 2, She's a Woman, track 3, I'm Happy Just to Dance With You, track 4, I'll Follow the Sun, track 5, Every Little Thing, track 6, Can't Buy Me Love, track 7, I'll Be Back. That would finish side 1. Side 2 would start with No Reply, then Things We Said Today, 8 Days a Week, And I Love Her, I Feel Fine, and the 14th and last track would be If I Fell. This album would be, that would be a huge album. That would be, maybe the best album released in pop history up until that time, maybe alongside Free Will and Bob Dylan. And it would also have some other benefits, like a better ratio for Paul McCartney. On A Hard Day's Night he only had 3 songs, one could say. Now he has She's a Woman, I'll Follow the Sun, plus the 3 Hard Day's Night songs. So now he has 5 songs. George gets I'm Happy Just to Dance With You to sing. No song for Ringo, but on the original A Hard Day's Night album there's also no song for Ringo. And you could play around with the B-sides for the singles. In this scenario they wouldn't have to rely on cover versions. It would be like from after with the Beatles they would have stopped doing cover versions, because now you have enough own material for this album plus the B-sides, because the B-side to Can't Buy Me Love could be You Can't Do That. The B-sides to A Hard Day's Night could be I Don't Want to Spoil the Party. And the B-side to I Feel Fine could be I'm a Loser. Let's say I'm a Loser. And they could still have made a Long Tall Sally EP with maybe the last 2 cover versions. The Long Tall Sally EP would start off with Long Tall Sally, then I'll Cry Instead, then look what you're doing, and then to have George sing another song in 1964, Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby, so 2 cover versions on that EP. But that would be in an alternate universe a different approach to how they put out their records in 1964. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad they did it the way they did it. I really like Beatles for Sale, and of course A Hard Day's Night too, and I like the fact that they also had singles, like in the case of I Feel Fine, She's a Woman, singles that weren't part of albums. But on the other hand, this A Hard Day's Sale album, it would be really a great album with a great flow. So I just wanted to make a fun video about that. Thank you for watching.